Welcome, Stephanie. We're happy to have you here with us today, calling us from Vandalia, Ohio, just outside of Dayton, Ohio, correct?
Yes, it is. And I'm glad to
Yeah.
be here.
And you are on a break from work, you said, just to take time out to chat with us. And you are an engineer of car parts,
Yes.
car
We're
exterior.
we're an automotive company that makes interior parts for cars and trucks.
Okay.
So instrument panels, door panels, consoles, those types of parts.
So is it the same kind of engineering where you got to make that fit with the right electronic piece with the thing and connect to that, and like you're just trying to put the little edge of the cup holder on the connector?
Exactly. Pretty much. Yeah.
Is it
We don't
is it
handle a lot of the
interesting?
electronic stuff, but our a lot of electronics made up to our doors. So yes, we handle a lot of it. It's all little within a millimeter. Everything we're dealing with is very tight tolerancing.
Measure twice, cut once. That's the tip.
Exactly. Exactly.
Interesting line of work. Interesting line of work.
It's been fun. Yeah, I've been here 30 years, so it's been fun.
Oh, wow. Well, cars have progressed in 30 years, so I bet your job has changed a lot.
It has. Yes, it has.
Okay, so you have been on a profile program or with a profile program since the fall of 2019. So
Yes.
you've had some good experiences. You have been with it for 2.5 years. You'd heard about it from a coworker, you said, and a trainer. And your story, as you wrote to us, is that you had a yo-yo of about 40 pounds, between 200 and 240. That lasted 2 decades. Like, this
Right.
was just your life for 20 years, is that you kind of bounced between these two weights with a fluctuation of about 40 pounds.
Yes.
So
Yes.
was that a problem? Was it annoying? Was it just how life was for you?
Yeah, it seemed like I would do a plan and I would get down to the 200, I'd be happy. And I'd stay there for a little while. And then the first thing that would come along that would disrupt that, whether that was something at work or something, I had an elderly mother at the time, dealing with her, well, the whole 20 years. There would always be something that would come up that would get me off my plan. And then I would end up gaining the weight back. And then I would be at the 240 for a while. And then I wasn't happy there. And then I'd work to get to 200. And it was just a constant yo yo.
For 20 years.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. So eventually, you'd said you got into the top again of that threshold in the fall
Right.
of 2019, and you were like, I'm doing something different. I'm doing profile this time. And at the
Right.
time, you're probably thinking, I'm trying something new. I'm trying another program. I'm trying profile.
Exactly. Exactly.
So when you started, was it like your other programs? You lose the weight, things are looking good, you're progressing. Was it different
Um,
right off the bat, or was it
it,
similar to other things?
yeah, it seemed like it was different off the bat. A lot of it was just it was the first time I'd been on a program where I used the food from the program from profile. So the profile of food was a new thing for me. I had done one other program in the past where it was like that, but I enjoyed. It was I liked the structure, so it was very good to have that the food
Okay.
there and things. But yes, it did feel different. A lot of the difference was the coaching and having them help me guide through that I didn't feel like I was on my own at the
Hmm.
beginning.
And you had said at first the coaching for you was important because they gave you tips about the food and the food plan, like which vegetables, how to make those vegetables, how to get enough of those in. Like, you needed sort of the education part of it to start.
Yes, and that was very much a part of it was in using their products and just tweaking the plan, learning which products I liked after the first 2 weeks when you had the flexibility, learning which products I liked, which ones I didn't like, how to incorporate those into my daily life. That it wasn't so much a diet as more it was a lifestyle change. Knowing though that those foods weren't going to be there forever, but it was a good way to get
Mhm.
started.
So you did get started. You did initially lose some weight. And then you wrote too that as time went on, you and your coach or coaches started to dive into the emotional eating part and other topics, the mental side of things.
Right.
How big of a revelation and how difficult or easy is that for you to dive into those tough topics?
Well, it was difficult, but it was needed because that's what I needed to break the yo-yo. Is the first time dealing with some of those issues, um, I always knew what I needed to do. I knew I needed to exercise. I know I needed to eat right. I know I need to drink my water, get my sleep, but I didn't understand always why I didn't do it. Sometimes I was my own
Mm.
worst enemy and I was in my way. So I think Profile helped me just kind of get out of my way and become successful with losing the weight and keeping it off all this time. But it was easier than just having the coach, that one-on-one coach, to dive into those issues.
That's really interesting that you would say that, Steph, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe 99% of people who could stand to lose some weight would say, I know what I have to do. I
Oh
just
yeah.
don't know why I don't do it.
Hmm.
And when you figured out some of the answers, was it like unlocking this wow, incredible, deep seated information? Or was it just like a basic sort of, okay, well, now I kind of can move past that and I figured it out. I put the last puzzle piece in kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was kind of a little bit of both. I mean, I think once, and it's something I still struggle with, and I still talk to them about today, is that emotional eating. I mean, or eating when you're happy, eating when you're sad,
Mhm.
eating when you're
Yeah, yeah.
upset, whatever what happens to be. But yeah, it was just a change in the way I looked at things, and trying to actually deal with the emotion versus eating the emotion.
Deal with the emotion versus eating the emotion.
Right?
Yeah,
Because it's not going to make things any better. You can eat all you want, but the issue's not going to go away.
yeah, you're right. Good point. You had said during the first year that you were in, so again, joining in the fall of 2019,
Right.
you went through COVID. We all went through and are still going through COVID, but it changed so much of our lifestyles. And you had also lost your mom in the
Right.
first year of being on this program. So that's a lot to deal with and process and digest and still try to maintain a healthy lifestyle. How did you kind of navigate between a global pandemic and losing your mom and trying to stay healthy through that?
That's a lot of questions. But what one thing I realized with COVID was we couldn't control a lot of things. We couldn't control where you could go, what you could do, you know, at the beginning. And the one thing I decided is the one thing I could control was what I ate, how much I moved. I could control that. And so I probably became more zealous about Profile once COVID hit because everything was kind of stripped away. And then I became, that's what was left was Profile for me and exercising. So during that time, I just increased like the way I was cooking, trying to get more vegetables, um, following the plan to a T. And then I started running. I started doing the Couch to 5K program because the gym shut
Mhm.
down. So I'd always kind of gone to the gym, but the gym shut
Sure.
down. So I started running. And then when my mom passed, by having the coaching, the one-on-one coaching, and it was a 3-month process, they were there helping me through that and talking about the emotions and just dealing with it and dealing with how am I going to turn to food. And as I mentioned, is one of the first times in my life I didn't turn to food for a huge major life event, but I kind of turned to running and I kind of turned to staying on plan and taking a little bit of a break, obviously. But
Mhm.
that's how I dealt with it, and the coaching really helped me through that time.
You had mentioned the Couch to 5K program. Can you explain what that is for people who are not familiar with it? Couch to 5K.
Right. It's basically taken if you're not very active or if you're not a runner at all. And it's taking that running and starting out walking a little bit, running a little bit, and every day you increase the amount of running to where over I think it's a 6 or 7 week plan, you end up being able to run a 5K. So I did that for quite a while, and I really did have a love of running that I'd never had before, and having the weight off obviously helped with that,
Yeah.
with the joints and with movement and everything with the plan.
Yeah. It's all connected together. You liked running more because it probably felt a lot better and it felt a lot better and you're losing the
Right.
weight and it's all connected. It's all circular.
I always
Uh,
call that my positive upward spiral. That
Positive upward spiral.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
it's the upward spiral, not necessarily positive. Always the upward spiral. That if I eat right, then I feel better, and if I feel better, then I eat better, and then I sleep better, and I take care of myself better, everything's better if I'm
Yep.
doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
You had said that keys to your success with Profile were meal prepping, increasing the vegetable intake, and increasing water. On this, the physical side of the intake, was that it? Those were the big three, like getting more vegetables, learning how to sort of stay ahead, meal prep, and getting more water.
Yes, I think those would be my three biggest things. Um, I've always kind of come and gone with the vegetables. I've always found that I am successful when I eat at home, and I have a lot of vegetables as my base. Most every program has that. Vegetables are obviously the best thing we can eat for ourselves, right? And so it was the vegetables, and then always water has always been a key factor for me too with my success.
Just making sure you get enough.
Making sure I get enough.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the meal prepping just helped, like packing my lunch, having things ready when I go to bed at night, that when I get up the next day, I've set the day for success by having those things ready.
Yeah. And that's a great point, because I found that too, that you just don't want to get caught in that situation where you're like, I'm so hungry and I forgot to prep whatever. And now you're just taking the easy route and you eat something, fast food or whatever, that you regret 5 minutes later.
Right.
And you can avoid all of that by prepping, preparing ahead of time.
Yep.
You had also wrote about the Profile Facebook page and just the Profile community in general were helpful to you, and that you were a regular contributor. How did that help you?
It number one, it made you realize you weren't alone, because there were thousands of people out there, and people would post all kinds of things looking for encouragement. They would post their stories. They would post the side-by-side pictures. They had the Face Off Friday and different things like that. And it just helped a lot. And I used to be pretty active on Facebook. I'm not as much anymore, but it just helped me to like I said at the beginning, to realize I wasn't alone. And there's a little funny story about that. Is I was on a dolphin cruise in Florida this fall, and I had a Profile water jug with me. And a lady said to me, she's like, "Oh, do you do Profile?" And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "So do I." And then she said, "You look familiar. What's your name?" And I told her my name. She goes, "Oh, I know you from the Facebook page."
Oh my gosh.
And she just said she remembered my story because I posted a couple of pictures,
Sure.
side-by-side pictures, and she remembered those. And I actually think I kind of recognized her name when she told me that as well. But it was just kind of fun. We took a picture and put it on the Facebook page, but all because I had my mug with me, but also because, and she said she appreciated hearing people's stories, the success stories, and also the struggles. It's not always rosy. So people, share their struggles, and then people encourage them. Yeah. So it's always been very, very helpful to me.
That's a great story. There you are on the same dolphin cruise. Who knew?
Yeah, who knew?
Profile unites people.
Yes, it does.
Overall, at the time when you gave us your biography, at that time you had lost 95 pounds and 48 inches. Yes. Is that where you are still?
Yes, I am.
I've been here that long, but
yeah, about 6 or 8 months I've been here.
Okay, 95 pounds. So 75 the first year, 20 in the second year.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome. And as a result of that, obviously your clothes size went down and your body size went down. Confidence went up, self-esteem went up. What were the other trickle-down effects of you having lost 95 pounds and 48 inches?
I think that self-esteem and the confidence kind of helped me get out there and do more things. Like I bike now. I take a spinning class. I've done a weightlifting class. We hike. We always hiked quite a bit, but we were hiking more and longer once I felt better, and sleeping better, and eating better meals. But yeah, just having the weight off just kind of just makes everything feel better.
And as we approach summertime, like here we are in the spring, as you look at summertime, which is generally more full of outdoor activities and just, I don't know, events and picnics and reunions and birthdays and all that kind of stuff, with your new self-esteem and body and clothes and cute little dress you might wear to a wedding and all those things, do you have a different outlook even on life, because we're about to hit summer and you might have a swimsuit or some sort of beach trip plan that in the past you would not have looked as forward to?
Yeah, I definitely. I think it kind of just removes that barrier from just enjoying those events. It's not, you're not as self-conscious. And some of that still, that takes a little getting used to. And that's something that coaching has helped as well too. It's not always, clear cut that I've lost all this weight and there still is issues with body image and still issues sometimes with that. And that's why I continue the coaching. Because I wouldn't say that is I've kept the weight off, but it's still always kind of that emotional side is there that we deal with. But yes, definitely looking forward to the summer. Definitely looking forward. Shopping is fun now. Shopping is way more
Shopping is
fun. When I can
The
actually go
clothes
in
are
and
cuter.
yes, they're cuter, they fit better, and I don't have to go in different departments now. I wear the normal sizes, which is nice.
Mm. A lot of benefits to what you have gone through. And the most important, of course, your overall health, mental, physical, all of that. And it
Mhm.
sounds like you're just in a really good place right now. So, congratulations to you.
Thank
Kudos
you.
to you. Job well done. And I know it's a continuation, it's not all over,
Right.
but um, I have complete confidence that this is you for life. You're in this good place and it's long term. So thank you, Stephanie. Thanks for sharing your story and sharing your time with us today.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.